Okay, whoever's going to be first out for each team, please let's have on the stage. So, the teams are going to be performing a very simple neutral scene with one caveat. They can only ask questions to one another. Now, I'm going to need your help on this. If you hear anything that is not a question, we need you to yell out. I will be going, as will the second most important person out here, our official scorer, Misha, from me. Okay, so we need to start this out with a suggestion. So, from my right side, what is a family tradition in your family?
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. We practiced Thanksgiving just before we started. I just did it. Some other family tradition.
Denial.
I'm sorry?
Denial.
Denial means to you guys? You have enough information. Okay, Captain Vince, please initiate.
Why can't you just accept me the way I am?
Why don't you think I do accept you?
Do you think that being attracted to men is a problem?
Do I look like I do? Doesn't everyone? Have you tried not being gay? Would that work? Aren't there some people?
Are we kissing cousins?
Are you the one from last summer?
Like the one from last summer?
Are you Daryl?
Do I look like Daryl?
Do you smell like Daryl?
Do you remember this?
Could I forget?
My son, what would Jesus say?
How the fuck should I?
Haven't you read your Bible?
Is that what that was?
Does the name Gideon mean nothing to you?
Is he that guy who works on the Star Ferry?
Haven't you ever been to a Howard Johnson's hotel?
That's a hotel.
Haven't you ever opened the drawer and received the word of the Lord?
Do you know what's in that drawer?
Is it my leftover condoms?
Are you size small?
Again, does you really think those are mine?
Why are you holding Chris's used condoms?
Was this with you?
How'd you get that from my pocket?
That's my bottle of booginess.
30 seconds.
Are your jeans on too tight?
Isn't that the point?
Do you want me to like it?
Do I ever?
Do you always stand like that?
Do you want me to stand like this?
Have you got a third alternative? Another improv tradition, the throwing of the 30-second Pokemon, and when you see 30-second Pokemon, you know there's in fact that much time remaining in the scene. Thank you, Mitchell. Okay, so we will give 5 points to the team that had the fewest mistakes during that, and then we'll start off the match with the lead. Official scorer, how many rotations did we have?
PLI, 4. ACT, 3.
So therefore, the score is now going to try and involve the audience even further than we have so far. We are going to see one game from each team. We'll start with the losers because they're behind. We will start with the game from People's Liberation Improv. Then we'll see a game from Free Hugs. Remember what you see from the first game, because you will get to vote which one you thought was funnier. Whichever one made you laugh, whichever one made you cry, whichever one had the most attractive folks on their team.
No.
You get to choose that team. You get more points. Okay, Captain Stephen. Yes? Let's make this difficult. What game would you like to see PLI perform for you?
Well, I'm glad you asked me. How about a little thing I've just thought of called Conduct a Story?
Story. All right. The game of Conduct a Story. This is, we will have the three members of People's Liberation Improv. They are going to tell a story from a subject come up by you, the audience. They will tell it one person at a time, with one of the members sitting down right down here. Watch out. And he will be pointing one at a time at each player, and that person will have to pick up the story and tell the story. When he pulls his finger away, that person has to stop telling the story, whether it be mid-sentence, mid-word, mid-diphthong. They have to stop right then until he points at another player. That player has to pick it up from the exact same spot. Through this, they will tell a very funny story for you. And remember the story, because again, you get to decide who's the best. So, are you guys ready? Good. You need a suggestion. So from my left side, an animal.
The iguana.
Iguana, the deadly iguana. From my right side, can I get a very active verb, an active activity?
Oscillate.
Oscillate. And from the center, thank you. Could I please get just a random noun? Could I get something that you open up your kitchen drawer and you see a
dildo.
I heard spoon first, which could be used as fashion or a dildo. So you will see now the conducted story of the deadly iguanas that oscillated the spoon. It's going to be the name of this story. Players, are you ready? Okay.
It is improv, right?
Arrange yourself and you may begin when ready.
Once upon a time, there was an iguana, a deadly iguana. And this iguana had a spoon that
Oscillated wildly as he applied electricity to it for 1,000 volts that
Made the thing go wappa 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 back and forth. It was deadly in
its motion, because he was a master cook as well. And in his cooking and baking, he was
really the finest iguana in the land. No other iguana
could souffle as well as he could. The power of his oscillating spoon, beating it into
a lot of eggs. While he was making a souffle, because he was not only
a master chef, but he was a master taster. He had taste buds like you wouldn't believe.
Because he was an iguana, and iguanas have a long tongue, and therefore they have many
taste buds the entire length of the organ.
Loved by all. He was loved by all, not only for his omelets,
but for his souffles
and his pastries
and his dildo. He
oscillated inside the drawer.
When he applied 1,000 volts to it.
He could use this dildo as a spatula to scoop up those omelets.
While he fried with his spoon
and his masterpiece
of cake making
culinary art.
This iguana was so
deadly. His skills as a
baker were
unmatched
in all of the world.
Hey.